telling you how not to get into a trap of narcissist, let me make one disclaimer. Current promiscuous use of the term narcissist for every minor instant of self-absorption trivializes that very real pain that people go through when they're dealing with people with NPD. And chances that you get into hands of real narcissist, a person with disorder with NPD, are very little, because there are only 5% of people with NPD.
So you're telling me there's a chance?
Rather than become more aware of who we are, what we want, what our boundaries are, why we attract narcissists, why we stay for so long, we rather point fingers at others, we condemn those people, we judge them, because we are ironically so self-inflamed with stigmatization of ourselves being narcissism free. And it doesn't allow us, it blocks us from self-awareness. It just makes a justification for us to go into traps over and over again. And the issue here is that there is no insurance you can buy not to fall in love again even with narcissist, or for the first time, or for staying that long with narcissist, not recognizing red flags to begin with. There is no insurance, everybody is in danger. But when we are consumed with information about others, rather than self-reflect, rather than learn what we are, who we are, what we want, what is not okay to do to us and what is okay, all we do is learning about others, which doesn't fix the issue. The issue starts with us. And the first thing that you can do for yourself is, first, when you go to therapy and the psychotherapist asks you, could you tell me what does it remind you of, this situation, this scenario of behavior? 95% of chances that the client, the customer of psychotherapy would say, yes, it reminds me of my mother, it reminds me of my father, it reminds me of something, or my previous relationship. So first, it's important to understand that this is my scenario. In Gestalt therapy, people say, I am coming back to unclosed, unfinished Gestalt. It means unfinished case, I need closure. It's a familiar situation for me, that's why I am coming back. It's like feeling at home, because I know what to do there, I learned. Those mechanisms that I learned back then, in my childhood or in my previous relationship, allow me to navigate through this relationship, even new relationship, I know how. Number two is to recognize that this is an abuse, because a lot of people neglect the fact that they are abused. Their ego is on the way, and they are afraid to see through a real glass that my abuser is doing it to me because I allow him. I am living in fantasy that one day it will change. Actually, I am is somebody who likes the high and lows in relationship. Maybe it's about me that I didn't learn what my boundaries are. One is to understand what is my type in attachment theory, and I think it's crucial. I think it's so essential to do so, because the most possible victims for narcissists are those with low self-esteem. For example, anxious type. It's a type that buys out quickly love bombing from narcissists. So, because for an anxious type, this is finally met somebody who recognizes me, who sees me, who appreciates me. They don't see love bombing as a red flag, comparing to some other types, for example, an avoidant type. Also, anxious type doesn't know boundaries. And boundaries, to have to create them, is important, because that's line that nobody is allowed to cross, and you know how to protect your boundaries. So let's say if you are moving towards a secure type in that theory, it's not necessarily that you will not suffer from a breakup with narcissist. Of course, it will hurt. But going through that, first, it will allow you to withdraw faster from this relationship. It will allow you to see those red flags faster. And it will allow you not to go through this tremendous pain, because you just understand as an insecure type that, okay, this person is not for me. And that's okay not to be with that person. It's okay to move on, and you know how to move on. So, let's stop labeling others for narcissism, and let's focus on ourselves. We cannot change or control other people, but what we can do is to change ourselves, to be the best version of ourselves, and to know how to protect ourselves from the abuse, because narcissism is not the problem. What is the problem is an abuse. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.